Hey guys, this is Mark here again and welcome back to my channel. So I've been using the POCO X3 Pro for almost 3 weeks already, and this is my honest review. For Ringgit Malaysia 999 for the base model, 128GB variant, you are getting a lot of value for your money here. Snapdragon 860, dual high-res audio speakers, 120Hz refresh rate display, huge battery, etc, etc, etc. But of course, it's not perfect here. POCO has to cut some corners here. Some are good, some they could have done it better. So we are here to find out in today's video. Let's talk about the build and design. It might not be for everyone, but I kind of like it since the last POCO X3 NFC. Basically, their design are almost the same. Flat screen, curved back, making it easier to hold compared to some boxier design phone. The back cover is actually made of plastic, but by no means is bad quality whatsoever. It feels sturdy, solid, there's no hollow feel. And the design of the back is actually nice with the rainbow color feel of the POCO logo. The only thing I wish POCO could have made the whole back matte finish instead of these two areas. And the middle part is actually prone to fingerprint smudges. Next, talking about cameras, the design here is unique and I like it. Under bright sunlight and enough lighting, the main shooter and ultra camera perform well. I need to point out that night mode on this phone is actually not bad also. Under low light, it can actually take nice photos. Another thing is that during night mode, you can actually take ultra wide and 2x zoom, which is a plus point. As for you guys who love to take close subject macro shot, the performance of the 2 megapixel macro lens on this phone is just average. Nothing to shout about. I've used before the super macro lens on the Redmi Note 10 Pro and the POCO F3, which can shoot much better macro shot than the POCO X3 Pro. So you guys can check it out from my Instagram post. If you flip the phone back to the screen, you'll be greeted with a 6.67 inch 1080p Full HD IPS LCD screen, which is protected with Corning Gorilla Glass 6. To be honest, this is a decent LCD screen. The white looks white and doesn't look yellowish. The best IPS LCD screen I've seen so far was on the last Mi 10T Pro. So the IPS LCD on the POCO X3 Pro supports 120Hz refresh rate, which makes scrolling very enjoyable. You definitely feel the difference. So one thing I want to point out is that when you swipe to see Google Cards, and also when you use YouTube app, you feel some frame drop, as these two areas are not supported by this phone yet to go 120Hz. So I hope that POCO can fix this soon. This phone has a decently powerful Snapdragon 860 octa-core chipset. To be honest, if you do some digging on the specification, you'll find that actually Snapdragon 860 is very much identical to the 2019 Snapdragon 855 Plus. But make no mistake, the Snapdragon 860 is still a powerful chipset. Day-to-day tasks, app opening, and even gaming on high graphic games on this phone is not a problem. I played Esport 9 at 60 frames per second, PUBG, Call of Duty on this phone. It runs smoothly. It's just that for Genshin Impact, if you play for a long period of time, you will experience frame drop and have to resort to 30 frames per second. So you guys can check it out my previous video on the gaming test using the POCO X3 Pro. Talking about gaming, this is where you need a strong battery to back it up. This phone has a 5160 mAh huge battery. From 100% battery, day-to-day usage, calling, social media, navigation, Netflix, this phone can last you 2 full days of usage. With screen on time, 9 to 10 hours, not a problem. If you game for an hour, depending on the games, battery will decrease around 16 to 20%, which I think is good enough. I'm talking about using the mobile data rather than Wi-Fi. Definitely, if you connect to Wi-Fi, you can save more battery. And when your phone runs flat, you have a 33 watt charger to top up the phone battery from 0 to 100% under an hour. Other good things I want to point out is that the phone connectivity is great. Mobile data with voice over LTE, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS are working well, no issues. Call quality is also decent. And the POCO X3 Pro has a good dual stereo speakers that makes watching contents and playing games more immersive. Definitely in my top 15 list. The best part is that this phone still have the 3.5mm headphone jack, which is still around. So long live Mr. Jack. Enough with the good stuff. Let's talk about the things that I don't like, and maybe some of you might not like it too. First is the weight. At 215 grams, it might not be for everyone. To me, any phone above 200 grams is actually heavy already. So this phone might not be suitable for everyone, especially female. But fortunately, Xiaomi is very good in one thing, which is making weight distribution on its phone spread quite evenly, putting less stress on the hand of its user. But if you want lighter phones, lighter Xiaomi phones, maybe you guys can go for the Mi 11, Redmi Note 10 Pro, or even POCO F3. Next, I'm actually nitpicking on this one. It's actually on the SIM slot. So this phone actually supports dual SIM and micro SD card expansion. But unfortunately, it's just a hybrid combination. So it means that you can only use 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card together with a micro SD card only. So I wish that POCO could have given us the 2+1 option here in this phone. Lastly, it's actually the screen. As I mentioned previously, this is a IPS LCD screen. Sometimes under white background at certain brightness, if you look very hard, very closely, you can see some tiny minor shadowing at the edge of the screen. But this is not a deal breaker to me. But I need to point out to you guys also. So there you go guys, my full review of the POCO X3 Pro after using it for almost 3 weeks. For the base model starting price from Ringgit Malaysia 999, there's no way you can find a better deal for a flagship level phone like this. So I bought this phone using my own money. If you appreciate my effort, please do like, share and subscribe. Until then, please take care and stay safe. Peace guys.